Cheers, Christina. Liberation! Hi, you guys. I'm back. I'm back to the YouTube. First of all, this is I don't know if you can see this. This is from, these say Liberation on them. They're little wine. They're little champagne flutes. All right. Last night, I went to the Christina Aguilera Liberation album listening party. This was honestly such an epic moment in my life as a music fan and a Christina Aguilera fan. I did a little video last night on Twitter just expressing how much joy I had being at that event, but I kind of wanted to deep dive into the night that I had. You took your phones when you walked in, obviously, so you can't record or share any information when you're there. You put it in a little pouch and you put it below your seat. It was at the Peppermint Club in Los Angeles. The walls were lined, they said Christina Aguilera Liberation, like walking into the venue. And when you got in there, there was like champagne glasses, which you can see right here. I have one. I actually have two. They actually said when they gave them to you, you could take them home. I didn't have to like pull any sly stuff. And there was the stage with the curtain up, and there was like 6 rows of seats, and then the booths all around. And I was like, okay, these 6 rows of seats don't have reserve signs on them, so we went right in the front row and just sat down. She was meeting some fans outside. You had to have some type of wristband for that. This guy from Grammy.com curated the event. She came out and she was wearing, as I'm sure you've seen by now, she was wearing this, these thigh-high boots with a button-down, long white button-down with a little belt and her little glasses. It was great. Slaying. Also, this is a poster they gave us last night and that she signed, and I'm dead! I'm dead! Let me take a moment. Sorry, I had to put the hair up for a moment. I got a little overheated just thinking about last night. I just want to take you through the exciting moments for me as a fan last night, and just some little fun details that she shared, which you'll hear when it plays on Pandora on June 15th, the day the album comes out. So she came out and she kind of talked about Liberation and the album, what it meant to her. She definitely was exuding a confidence that I personally as a fan, she even made a joke. She's like, it's been a long time, my fans know, and it has. Basically, she played Liberation intro that has Searching for Maria and Maria. She was talking about how, basically Maria's her middle name. She was like, my name is Christina Maria Aguilera. Basically, she wanted to get back to the little girl that she once was, who just had that fire and passion. Searching for Maria is her looking for that passion inside of herself, and you could feel it from her that she feels it again, and she was excited about this music. And you know, being on The Voice, I think she felt really creatively stifled in the way of just sitting in a chair, which is Sick of Sitting, one of the songs, the 4th song on the album. She enlisted the composer of the movie Moonlight to do the violin score for the opening of her album, which includes It's a Little Laughter from her daughter Summer. And she had them start it over like 4 times because she's like, it's not loud enough, and she was doing it in like a cute way. She's like, no, it needs to be louder, like I want you to hear my daughter's laugh. And so she started it over a few times, and then because it just, I don't know why, we kept it not being loud enough. And you hear a snippet of those violins in the Where's Maria documentary. It's this like swelling orchestration, and then it leads into her singing a snippet from The Sound of Music, which literally brought me to tears. I don't know, I think it's either it was just such a creative move, and I think it was a combination of that and then mixing it with like the childhood, The Sound of Music, and also I'm a musical theater geek, so it was like for her to sing The Sound of Music on her freaking album was like, I was mind blown. She mentioned how Maria, being her middle name, also has a double meaning of The Sound of Music, Maria Von Trapp, and how when she was a little girl, she first saw that movie and Julie Andrews and was like totally enamored by her. The, you know, singing in the hills, and the hills are alive. This is brilliant. It's brilliant! That whole moment, the first beginning, Liberation, Searching for Maria, Maria, those 3 had me like, as you can see, I have no words. Maria was my favorite song of the whole album that is produced by Kanye West. Sick of Sitting was one that she was like, I can't wait to perform this with my band and get up on stage. And that one was giving me, makes me want to pray vibes, weirdly. Like, in the moment, she mentioned that she was kind of emulating Janis Joplin with saying, like, I don't remember what it was, but it's something like, are you ready to go? Or what is something like that. And also, you have to remember that I had one listen of this album, and a lot was going on. Like, I'm like, seeing her listen to her own music, and then listening to myself, like, what am I thinking about this? And so I apologize if when you hear the album, it comes out and you're like, I don't agree with anything you said about how it sounds. This is just me like going off of my one listen. So don't at me, don't come for me if you don't agree. And the next segment was, there's an interlude called Dreamers into Fall in Line. Dreamers is just these little girls talking about what they want to be when they grow up. Like, I want to be a lion. I want to be the president. And then it leads into Fall in Line, which was like, the bass in the Peppermint Club was so intense. It was like boom, 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 and it was like the stage was shaking. It was nuts. She talked about her relationship with Demi. She was just like speaking such high praise of Demi. You can tell that she really loves her, and she's like, I needed someone that could power through this song, and you know, Demi is that one. The next song is called Right Moves, and she was like, this is like, oh, I want to, like, I feel weird sitting here in this couch. I want to be like in a club listening to this. It is very vibey. This, to me, turns the album, after Fall in Line, it turns the album into this kind of, I want to say like trancey vibey moment for a few tracks. Kind of giving you a reggaeton vibe. I loved it. I loved Right Moves. I was like, oh shit, this is the song. I don't know what's going on in here. Let me take a sip of my Christina tea. AKA it's water, because you know what, guys? I'm going home next week to Chicago to do a performance of Grease, and I'm not trying to look blemishy because of wine, okay? Wine makes me break out. So this is water, you know, on a beautiful Friday afternoon. What more could you really want than Christina Aguilera talk and a glass of water and a champagne flute? Is that ever gonna stop? Do you hear the strain? I don't know if you hear this. Accelerate, come on babe, pick up your speed. Stamina, fill me up, that's what I need. I'm sick of sitting. Let's call that track 4. Like I Do, the next track. Oh, it's so sexy. I love that song. That one, I'm feeling like that one's gonna be like a fan favorite. Or like a favorite of people that aren't fans, maybe. Maybe that one's gonna be that one. Deserve was my second, behind Maria. On a first listen, Deserve was my like favorite. Because it starts with this like really cool beat, and then it automatically goes into the chorus before the verse, which I love a song that starts with a chorus. The song was about like kind of a crazy relationship of how you feel like you don't deserve someone because you don't treat them the way they should be treated, but you're like, but I love you. Like, I love you, but I don't deserve you, and I'm not treating you this way. Do we deserve each other, kind of thing. That's the one that I'm like craving when the album comes out on the 15th. I'm craving to listen to that one off the bat. So then she went in it twice and said it was kind of like the ballad of the album, the singer-songwriter moment. It was really cool to like watch her listen to her own songs. Like as an artist myself, who's so inspired by music, that was the coolest thing for me, was to see her like being so excited to share this music with these fans, myself included. I'm in a band called Winslet, and we are working on our EP, and I've been able to share like a few songs with friends and family, and every time I get to do that, it's like so exciting. I'm like, you need to have the headphones right, you need to, you know, listen in this environment. And I could tell that like she said, I think it was during her pipe, I think she was like, you can't really hear like the full production of this, and you know, so what is going on? The next song was I Don't Need It Anymore, the interlude, which to me was like a really amazing vocal moment, and it was one of those like, I don't know if you've heard Rihanna when she did the Birthday Cake as an interlude before she made it into a full song. I had that vibe from it where I was like, wait, no, like don't let it be an interlude, it needs to be a full song. And then that one went into Accelerate. And of course, Accelerate was a moment in the crowd. It was like everyone was singing along and wanted to get up and dance, and oh, what's going on? She then started singing along, which there's a video online of, you can see her like, oh, you know, singing with it. And it went into Pipe, which, hello. Pipe and Masochist, the next two, are very like sexually driven. This latter half of the album is very like sexual liberation moment. Pipe was dope. It was kind of about like the vibe I was getting from it was like, put your pipe down and let's move to the bedroom kind of thing. Masochist was one of my favorites. She kind of talked about in this moment like how, I think this was the moment she was talking about how it's just hard to be in a relationship, to be like the best version of yourself for your partner at all times, was kind of what I gathered from that. And last song, Unless It's With You, she talked about how like people have used her songs before for weddings, like I Am from the Bionic album she referenced. And this is one of those songs where basically it's saying, I don't want to be married unless it's with you. And it's like about, you know, finding that person that you know is the one, you know. That was an amazing vocal moment. Like, and it's like a power ballad And that was the whole album, and I was like, no, it's done! And then everybody like stood up and clapped, and she was like, oh my god, I see all my like familiar faces, and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh my god, do you see me? I was right in the front and wearing a blue suit and heels, so, you know, it's hard to miss me. I left there being like, wow, like, I feel so incredibly blessed that I got that opportunity. I mean, you know, I've been a fan since I've been, like, 9 years old, you know, and to get to be like at this listening party and hear these songs for the first time was really a truly special moment for me, and I really appreciated it and was so thankful, and I can't wait to see these songs done on tour. And after the first listen, I was thinking like throughout, I was like, this to me, and I don't want to compare artists, I never do that, but for me, this was like her Lemonade, like what Beyonce did with Lemonade. It was like this really experimental like project of love that has such a cool outcome on a first listen. For me, that's what it felt like. It was one of these like, wow, like this is a creative, really experimental, cool album, and I think that like fans of music are going to love this. Fans of her are going to, of course, love this, but I think in general, music fans around the world are going to be like, wow, like Christina Aguilera, like she just plays with so many different textures of her voice in the album. And she's playing with different sounds, different producers, and she's always ahead of the curve. I think she always has been in terms of like what's gonna be fresh. I'm so excited for you guys to hear this album. I didn't want to give too much away, you know, and I feel like if you hear it and you disagree or you agree or whatever, you know, I'm excited to like talk to you guys about that. She is one of the greatest artists of all time, in my opinion. And like I said before, as an artist, like this was so incredibly fulfilling for me to get to go to this event. So I hope that you guys, I know this video is really long, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse into every song and what she was saying about them. You guys are gonna be liberated when you hear this album. Thanks you guys so much for watching. June 15th, Liberation, and stay tuned. I'll be doing a New Music Friday when the album comes out. I'm gonna be going to Target that morning and purchasing the album. It'll be a liberation excursion, a labor of love. Christina Aguilera, Vince Tina. I'm so excited, you guys. Ah!